Emmerdale favourite pops the question in a lavish romantic gesture, only to be devastatingly turned down in the aftermath of tragedy. In the wake of the riding accident that claimed the life of Kim Tate's beloved horse, Ice, Home Farm has become a pressure cooker of grief, rage and betrayal. Kim is on the warpath, and frankly, who could blame her? Her fury exploded when she discovered that her most trusted allies, Sam and Lydia Dingle, were behind the illegal shoot that caused the fatal accident. The sense of betrayal was immense. Kim wasted no time in sacking them and throwing them out, drawing a brutal line under relationships she once valued deeply. It's hard not to feel for Kim in this moment. Yes, she's a villain, but Lydia was her closest confidant. Watching that friendship disintegrate over one reckless mistake is genuinely heartbreaking, adding emotional weight to what could have been a straightforward revenge arc. And the fallout didn't end there. Kim's anger soon turned toward Joe Tate. Despite acting on the vet's advice and agreeing to put Ice to sleep, Kim interpreted Joe's actions as a power grab, an attempt to assert control while she was incapacitated. When Joe later tried to make amends following Lydia's confession, hoping to claw his way back into his grandmother's good graces, Kim shut him down cold and sent him packing once again. Cast adrift and increasingly uncertain about his future, Joe turned to Dawn Fletcher. Desperate for reassurance, he suggested they leave the village altogether and start anew. Dawn, understandably reluctant to uproot the children, wasn't convinced, so Joe resolved to prove his love with a grand romantic gesture. Unfortunately, he made one catastrophic mistake. He left Dawn alone with Charity Dingle. Charity, chaos incarnate, wasted no time in planting seeds of doubt. She reminded Dawn of Joe's treatment of Debbie and, crucially, resurrected his plan to steal Noah's kidney. Charity Dingle, truly doing the most. Bringing up attempted organ theft moments before a proposal. That is diabolical timing, but uncomfortable as it is, she wasn't wrong. Some things can't simply be swept under the rug. Panicked and convinced Joe was about to abandon her, Dawn ignored his calls. When she eventually stepped outside, however, she wasn't met with heartbreak, but theater. Joe stood waiting in a sharp suit, accompanied by a violinist, as the ultimate romantic tableau unfolded. He dropped to one knee in the middle of the street, but Dawn wasn't the only audience. Charity, Aaron and Robert all stood watching the spectacle, wide-eyed. As Joe poured his heart out, Charity could be seen in the background silently mouthing, "Say no." The audacity. Absolute scenes. Poor Robert, meanwhile, looked on as this emotional car crash unfolded before him. It was peak Emmerdale, comedy and tragedy colliding in real time. Then came the moment no one expected. Dawn said no. Whether it was Charity's voice ringing in her ears or her own unresolved doubts, she shut Joe down completely. He was left visibly crushed, his future, and pride, in tatters. The scene closed on one of the most painfully awkward images soap has ever delivered. Joe wandering off down the street, trailed by his violinist, who continued to play a mournful soundtrack as if scoring his humiliation in real time. The second-hand embarrassment was unbearable. A romantic walk of shame, complete with live accompaniment, surely a contender for the most humiliating exit in soap history. So where does this leave Dawn and Joe? And will Joe seek revenge on Charity for obliterating his big moment? At this point, someone may as well start a compilation titled, "Charity Dingle Sabotages Joe Tate." It's practically becoming a hobby.